Now today we're going to build wings for the snowplow. This is a 455 with a 54-inch hydraulic blade that has the power up, down, left, and right. The problem is when you angle it completely to the left or the right, it's narrower than the rear tires are on the tractor, so it makes pushing it real difficult. I've found some snowplow wings on eBay and at various John Deere stores for about $150 for between 4 and 6 to 10 inch wings. Today we're going to try something a little bit different. So what we need is something that's durable, but not so doggone expensive that it breaks the bank. I thought about metal, but metal bends. So I thought, well, how about something like a tough plastic? And if you order most tough plastic, it costs you an arm and a leg. Well, this is just a trailer or a truck mud flap, and we got this from CIT. It's the real hard plastic. It's 20 inches wide, 30 inches long. So this is what we're going to make it out of. But as you can see, it's fairly thick. It can bend to the curvature of the blade without breaking, or if it hits something, hopefully we won't bust it. We'll see. As you can see here, it's already been pre-drilled in 4 different spots with slots that are 7/16. So what we'll do is we'll use 3/8 inch bolts. It'll give it just a little bit of play. This will be the inside edge, and then the edge with the curve here will be the outside edge. Now what we've done is we've clamped it down with a deep throat C-clamp here. Usually use it for welding, but in this case it holds it pretty good, so I know exactly where to line up the bolt holes. Now I'm not going to drill a hole through the cutting edge because that would just be a pain to go through all that additional thickness. So I've got one hole here and one hole here. I'll see if I need to drill another one or not. We'll see how it works. And there you go, there's the initial fit. Now if you notice, it's a little bit too tall, so I'll have to cut down the top of it so it's the same height as the blade. But all we did was use 2 of the bolts here. I may put in another bolt. And on the back side, 2 nylock nuts with washers. We'll see how it goes on the first run, but this added 18 inches to the end of the blade, so I'll add another one to the other side, and instead of a 54 or 4.5 foot blade, I'll have a 7.5 foot blade. And of course I can take one or the other or both of them off. Now here it is finished on both sides. We have an additional 18 inches on this side, an additional 18 inches on this side, for about a total of $40. So there you go. And here it is all finished off. It's with the wings 18 inches on each side, an extra 18 inches on each side. We increased the width of the plow from 54 inches, 4.5 foot, to 7.5 foot, 90 inches. All total, it cost about $37. What I did on this side is use the Dremel tool to slot cut it so that I can raise this wing to be able to bank the snow in case it starts getting too deep. And then I also used the Dremel tool to round the corners so you wouldn't get gouged with it. I used an angle grinder with a metal cutoff wheel and a router speed control to cut it so that it wouldn't melt it, and it worked just fine. There it is. I only used 3 bolts on each side. I might have to put another bolt in. You can see on the back side we have the 3 bolts with the lock nuts, nylock nuts. And there's your free advertising for CIT Group. Once again, the mud flaps were $15 a piece, and the hardware was about $5.50.